your gamma. So I call it turn your swag on, but it's your regeneration ability. So whenever you have it on, it stays active the more abilities you hit. Pretty sure you know that, right? But if you're hitting more people, like say if you're using the alpha, right? The alpha is a key function of it. Even if you have it level 1, it's harder to kind of balance the two of like using it to scan and also doing damage. But the key to it is kind of, if you have like level 4, you get the 4 scan. I like to use 1 scan to see where people are at, take an off angle to where you know that you can hit through people instead of coming like at them directly, because they can jump away from it. It's pretty telegraphed before you actually throw it out, you know. So if you scan people and you see they're fighting, you can kind of take that off angle through a building and shoot it through a wall, so that way you're getting that shield break. You also know where they're at, so then you still have your regeneration and you can jump into the fight. If you jump in and get that little bit of damage, you're still getting that heal to continue your momentum. So it's really just about like a momentum game, and then you can use your special action for mobility instead of using your beta. It's to jump around. Like, it's not hard. He's more of like keeping your resources while also doing damage, because you have to do damage to keep your ability going. Because you have
do
to
damage or get hit with something. Like, so you either have to
but I say do damage because somebody wants to get hit. You
know? No, 100%. But on the off chance you do get hit, it still keeps it going. But as he said, no one's trying to get hit.
So yeah, like you're more likely to do more damage than you are to get hit. But like, that's if you're playing correctly, you know, because he's not like a straightforward character. You can't jump into the battle like you're playing Strike or a catastrophic Shigaraki. It's just not going to work because he doesn't have the ability to hit the ground and do an area effect. He only has 2 moves like that, but it also has heavy startup and don't have much armor like him doing, or like Strike Shigaraki doing the grab, or you know, the dash, any gamma really, besides his. Like, he's the only one, Shigaraki is the only one with the least armor, but he has the most survivability out of all of them because of that. So you have to play to your advantage. The most utility you're gonna get out of Shigaraki is learning the angles you can play off of his alpha with, because that's gonna allow you to be in better positioning to not take as much damage and get targeted heavily. Because once you have your beta gone, you have no escapability. Your special actions are going to take you but so far. And you have to wait for the attack. And if you have somebody that can cancel your special action, like all for one, or you're fighting like, say you're fighting an Aizawa, you can't really do it so much. But if you catch them at the off angle, making them have that health disadvantage when you enter a fight, while you're also keeping yourself buff throughout the fight, it's easier to maneuver with Shigaraki, which is jumping in,
yep,
or trying to find a simple niche, because you don't have to sneak around, but just use your sound cues if you can't figure out how to use Alpha's aiming ability, because it's not easy inherently, because you have to know how to keep yourself at a safe distance to not be too close to the enemies to actually see the problem. So if you know where somebody's at, try not to use the aiming ability. Use your sound. Throw it at the floor, throw it where you hear them at. Save you an ability, so you're not using a charge just to see and then use another charge to throw it out when you know where they're at already. You know?
Great.
So to manage your resources properly, you jump in with your B. Make sure you have your gamma turned on, because you're gonna do decay. And you're also gonna do the damage. And if you take damage while jumping in, because you do have a little bit of armor on your beta, you get that health right back. So you're never at a disadvantage, truly, unless you get caught in a bad position. That's when he really has the shit on the stick, truly, because like he can't do shit, because he only has 2 damage abilities. Genuinely, and then one of them can't really be used at close range, so he has 1. Even that's not close range. You hit them dead on, and like, you know. So you kind of have to play that angle properly. You really have to play your character and know the map. Like learning the maps, like if we're on the new map or like the map with the school in the middle, you have to like not play buildings, but play below or to the side of them, so you can see the whole playing field instead of being on top of somebody or below somebody to where they can maneuver through your ability easy. If you're going straight for a linear, it's a lot harder for people to stop their fight and go left or right while they're fighting someone that's straight in front of them, trying to hit them left or right. You know what I mean? So you are going to be that initial distraction. Your entry is always going to be your most important because that's where you get your most damage off because they never know where a strike or a Shigaraki is coming from because he can hit them through walls and they all and if you can't hold it, do not, I will say this, if you feel like people are always dodging your alpha, do not just hold your alpha because the more you hold your alpha, it shows them where you're at, it shows them where you're aiming at. So no matter if you're looking at them from a distance or not, they'll know. Like, it'll pop up on their screen. Give them an audio cue and a visual cue. So the least you hold it, the better. It makes it unpredictable unless you see that red line on your screen. Shit, I gotta dodge this red thing. And oh damn, I know he's looking at me because he was looking at me for 2 minutes now. So I see it on my screen. I'm just gonna dodge it when it comes up. That's the easiest, like, that's the biggest thing I can tell you. Cause I realized that myself. Cause I'm like, bro, how the fuck does he always see me? And I can never figure out how he sees me or when he's looking at me. It literally tells you on your screen. It's a big ass arrow on your screen. And I'm mistaken what it means after you realize what it is. That makes him kind of useless in a sense. So you know. Just be careful with that. Your best thing is surprise. Surprise and position and managing your resources. They're like the biggest tips I can really give for Tech Shigaraki, because that's his whole base kit. That's what he revolves around. So the more you have your resources up, the more damage you're going to be able to output, and the better positioning you're in, the more you're going to do off your entry, because he doesn't have the ability to jump in and do big damage on single target as much as like the other Shigarakis would, because he only has two damaging abilities. Ranged and one's projectile pretty much. You have to jump on them, but you hit them with it. You can kind of only hit them with one part of the damage, or you're jumping through somebody to hit their group. So it's an AOE. So you kind of have to know where you're at and how your moves hit, because you can't do but so much damage because they all provide knockdown. So if you jump in and you feel like you're not doing enough damage either, I would say that if you not feel like you're not doing enough damage, try melee combos. So jumping in, you can start off with turning on your gamma, jumping in with your beta, getting the crack, doing one of your special actions to reposition into the air so they don't know where you went, seeing where they are at, so follow them around, jumping back down on them, doing your special action into a melee combo again. That provides you extra damage, one, and it also gives you a full shield break combo. And you still have all your resources. You have a beta for escape ability, and you still have all your alphas. So then you can do a beta to kill, or you can do a beta if they try to run, and alpha them, and you pretty much kill them. You know what I mean? So they can't really run from you. You know where they're going to be at. And that time you'll probably have your abilities back to one beta. So that would be like the best thing I could say. Get used to melee combos and managing resources and knowing your positioning in a battle, because your entry is always going to be your most important.
So to end this off, right? Would you say it'd be better to max out your gamma and then max out your beta and then max out your alpha?
I like to max out my alpha first because you get more utility out of it, because you get the same amount of, you only get more range and damage out of your beta and
Yeah,
more
you get.
durability, but the longer you have, like, the more you're hitting people, the more your gamma's gonna last. So it doesn't matter what level it is. You might get a
Okay.
little more health from it,
You
but it's
yeah, you get
not.
more health and effective time. So more health on top of
Yeah,
longer time, and then the beta is the reload speed, the size of it, and damage. But you're saying
yeah.
go with the alpha because if you're hitting people and being smart with your
You get more
alpha,
range. You have
you
more
don't get more range for
scan.
the alpha. You
You
just get
have.
more you just get more
You do.
rounds.
You do.
Oh, you do? Because it doesn't say
Yeah,
that
you
on the
do.
description.
Amazing!
Because that's the only reason I didn't inherently level the alpha first, was because it wasn't it didn't give me more range. I was leaning more towards I was trying to level up more like the gamma and stuff, and then the beta just because that gives me more range and it's a quicker cooldown.
I mean, why would you? The range isn't lacking though. I feel like you would want to upgrade your range. Like I'm not under. All right. Well, my thought process of it is right. If I'm using tech Shigaraki, right, and I'm trying to maintain myself,
Mhm.
I can't inherently do that with just B. I try to level up just my beta, and every time I found myself trying to use my alpha a lot, but lacking because I'm missing out. So like, say if I have a full
Mhm.
beta, right? So my stat spread typically goes one max spread first, and probably like a 3 stack or a 4 stack on the one probably level one for
Yeah,
like the
yeah, yeah,
base level, like for the
yeah,
first like round or two, right?
yeah.
And typically, if I'm playing Strike, it'll probably be B. But I played Texuragi when I first played him, since I was so used to playing Strike Shigaraki, I leveled up my B a lot. And
Mhm.
that caused me to have to jump into fights more, and my positioning was then being taken away because not every time I can hit people through walls with my beta.
Mhm. Mhm.
So it only increases. I still have 2 charges. I don't get in like 3 charges. I don't get 4 charges. I always have two, no matter what. So that's not changing anything. I might get reload speed. That's at level 4. So if I get level 4, why would I push it out until like in game? That only makes sense to me because then I have to max out to level 9 to get another reload speed and damage,
Mhm.
versus having more rounds from level 3 to like having 4 to 5 rounds at level 4. You know what I mean? To
Mhm.
not have a scan now and 3 damaging abilities, to then have 5 overall damaging abilities versus just 5. Like just not even just 5, right? I said
Mhm.
what? Yeah, no, it's technically 5 or 6 because you then can use one to scan, one to jump in, right? So now you're still at 4,
I mean, I agree.
but
I
then you're
agree. I agree with what you're saying. Don't get me wrong. It's just I played him like 3 times. Like three
no, that's
times.
what I was saying. I'm more
Oh,
giving
okay.
like an example so you understand. I'm not just like
No, no,
going,
no.
oh
I
shit,
see it
no.
with the way you explain it, bro. Because like you're using more of his alpha, more as like a sniping thing, and then once you get some
Because you
entry
have to know
damage
where they're
in,
at.
yeah, then you pull up with them. Then you go in with the beta, but this is already after your alphas. I mean your gammas charged up, and then you start actually getting into the fight, and then you're using. You guess you could use the alpha like a close range weapon, but that's more of an emergency case. You kind of want to do it at range, and then not treating the beta like it's mobility, but just using your special action as your pseudo mobility. Use beta as mobility as an emergency, but you kind of want to use as your get off me tool, or you're going into the center of the
Like,
fight.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Literally, kind of like not even like a get off me to it because it's not a get off me to it. It doesn't have enough
Yeah.
doesn't have enough armor for it. So it's more
Mm.
of like your entry and then your escapability. So
Mhm.
you have one for entry, one for escapability, or you have a double chase down in a sense.
Mhm.
Because when I'm using the alpha, I like to think of it like I'm pushing them out the building because nobody wants to be in a building with a strike sugar or a Texagaraki
Mhm.
outside of the building. They're always gonna try to scatter away, right? So once they run out, you can then jump. So utilizing that, even if you scan or say, cause I have level 1, right? Level 1, you
Yeah.
have 3. You scan once and you shoot, you have 1. You can't scan again unless you know where they're at. You
Mm.
can't scan again. And so if you wanted to scan again and shoot, you could with level 4, level 4 one. Even like a level 9, you could do it 3 times. And
Mm.
shoot, scan, shoot, scan, shoot.
Hell no, dumbass!
I don't know the
Okay.
exact number, but I know for a fact you can do it 3. And that means you have information damage, information damage, information damage every single time, versus information once, damage, maybe damage, because if you don't know where they at, you miss,
Mhm.
and you have 2 damaging abilities, but also your mobility is gone. It's like if I was to use my grab on Red Shigaraki, I have to use it for either escapability or if I know I'm gonna kill somebody, because then I know for a fact I don't have nothing to go away with.
Yeah.
Similar thing.
Okay.
Like level up the B isn't bad. It just all depends on your playstyle. If you know, like if you're on an open maps, like if you're on either the first map, you know, the with the water slide, you're on the second map that we're playing on now, like this one, really good for the B because there's a lot of
That's
open
so
areas
stupid.
and crevices you can go into. So your map also does depend on your leveling up. Like if I was here, I'd probably level up my B level 4 first before I leveled up my A because of that, so I can traverse better and have more, you know, effect on the field versus being with the level 9A. I'm like, damn, I can't do shit. But everything's so high and I can't maneuver. man. Like just shit
You
like
wanna
that.
go
Like
at it?
there's more places to your map and your surroundings.
So
This,
basically, what I would add on to this to wrap this up or whatever. Yes, USJ is goated. It is a classic. But to add on to this, I get what he's saying because what he's saying now makes more sense. So I'm thinking, so you will max out alpha under normal
can I add
census.
this too? One
Go
second
ahead.
before you continue. It also allows you to hit Nedgeраys and everybody flying. It's high enough for that. So that's when you
And
if you
to,
max it out, so you can do that as well. So you have more chances for that. But now I'll leave it at that.
all right. So basically, I get the vision. So alpha you would max. So you would go straight down the middle.
That's
Max
so
alpha, max
stupid.
beta, max gamma. Right.
Uh-huh.
All right, so under
Or
under
possible.
normal context without variation, because that just comes down to skill and you getting more experience and reps in with the character to know what you might need to level up instead. On a side note, like if I'm playing Momo or something, if there's a lot of people near me, I'm not gonna upgrade my cannons. I would under normal. She's got a buff recently, but under normal context, if I'm fighting people, I get 4 level cards. That's going straight to my alpha, and then I'm getting ready to fight back, and then I'm gonna go back to it. So that's just me playing her enough and knowing that. But basically, level up the alpha so you have more charges, so you have more chances to hit people, but also know where people are at. Knowing the battlefield is key, but also it helps you keep your gamma up because you're able to output more damage. Then level up your beta for base anything, entry, get fleeing away from a fight, multiple different reasons, and then finish it off with your gamma. Because realistically, if you're able to perform and lead your shots, basically predicting where they're gonna go, you should theoretically be able to stay in your gamma indefinitely. So that's where the practice comes into play. But yeah, do you want to? You don't really, you don't upload any videos or anything like that, do you?
Me sometimes.
You
Oh,
wanna
okay,
go
because
at
I
I
was
it?
about
think
to
I
say
have
you could.
1 or 2 of my hero videos.
Okay, I was about to say you could say something before I clip it. Before I clip it, you could say your channel name or something.
Oh, I think it's King Remy, or if it's not, it's Remy the Heater.
Remy the
No
heater.
spaces.
Remy the heater, no
Hey, click on
spaces.
my
Here, send it to me in
click on
chat
my
real quick.
profile. Just click my profile. Click my profile.
Alright.
It should say it on the little tag. It's like Remy the Heater go scream my music. This is funny shit.
That's so
But it's like the same
stupid.
thing as my YouTube. It'd be King Remy, like KING, like my name, like on the chat, like RTH, just like that. Or shit on my profile. Like if you click my profile, you'll see both.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. I see. Play my music. R. Amy, the heater.
So REMYTHE.
Say it one more time. It was cutting out a little bit.
No, I was spelling it out. I was like REMYTHEHEATER. Spaces.
Cool beans.
Capital first letters.
Alright, capital first letters. Okay, cool beans. Now let me go ahead and clip that.
Sounds good.
And we'll just do